The comparison tool, similar to the Teams tool, has a great ability to group together different channels, but unlike the Teams tool, this tool allows you to look over long periods of time, and you can also look across games, publishers, genres, live streaming platforms. You can even compare historical tournaments. You can compare esports teams, or you can compare them in different ways. So if you want to choose channels and genres, you can kind of pull different use cases together. You can also type in the searcher the channels that you're looking for if it's games, and then basically create those groups through here. Once your groups have been created, I've made a couple examples to go through. So one is the channels view. So this is going to take a look at the multiple influencer channels that we have listed here. So in this group, we've uploaded these cross-platform channels, mainly looking at Twitch and Facebook gaming. So once that has been imported, you then can look over time. So again, quite a few options here with the different graphs that you can use, line charts, pie charts. You can stack them, do percentage increase over time or percentage market share, but all of that information is pretty adjustable here. Similar to most of the tools in this platform, you can export the information. So if you're exporting for a PNG or JPEG that you want to put this graph into a given presentation you're putting together through leadership or a brand partner, you can do that. Or if you'd like to pull the data into a data studio like Tableau, you can export this into CSV or XLS to actually see the hard data. As you can see here, they'll have individual channel breakouts. You can search by various metrics like peak concurrence, average concurrence, broadcast time. Similar to the Teams tool, again, there are some Twitch specific metrics that you can measure as well, like registered viewers tuned in, new followers gained over the certain time frame, number of chat messages sent, or chat participants. So you really have a lot of variety in looking through the different data types. If you want to look at a different comparison, we can look at something like a games comparison. So in this example, you can see that we have Call of Duty, Valorant, Apex Legends, and Fortnite. So all really popular shooter games. Then you'll be able to see over the time frame specified. So in this case, from November to February, you can see who had the most viewership. And the nice part is this is also a cross-platform view across Twitch, YouTube Gaming, and Facebook. So you'll be able to see as you hover over what platform is contributing most to these games viewership. Here you can see the hours watched, peak concurrence broken out by individual game instead of the stacked view. And then you can also, again, adjust these to make it a trend line, pie chart. And this will even give the cross-platform breakdown. So Twitch making up a huge audience for Fortnite. Again, you'll see that Twitch is the common theme of most viewed platform. But then you can also see for Apex and Valorant, they do have pretty large YouTube live followings there too. Another great thing to be able to compare is previous events. So if you want to look at a historical Call of Duty League comparison, so let's take a look at 2023 season versus the 2022 season. All you'll have to do here, again, is upload the tournaments that you'd like to look at. And then obviously back up the time so you can see all the way from maybe let's call it November of 2021 to February of this year. Once you apply those filters, you'll be able to see the longer length of time. So again, to point out the big difference between comparison and teams is comparison gives you the ability to not just compare channels, but compare a myriad of different inputs like tournaments, games, genres, and channels. And this tool specifically is tailor-made to be able to look over longer time frames. So Teams is great for looking at weekly data, monthly data up to a quarter, but anything over a quarter, it's usually more effective to pull into the comparison tool. Another neat feature of this comparison tool is you can actually pull in existing teams that you have. So that's another really big help in pulling in teams that you've already put together. So if you have a custom team, like we want to see all of the 100 Thieves roster, you can pull that team that you created previously into this comparison tool to look over longer periods of time. And lastly, what I'll show you is an example of that team comparison. So if you want to see multiple esports teams and comparing organizations across the live streaming ecosystem, you can also look at that. So in this example, we have the rosters of 100 Thieves and Team Liquid. They're going to be kind of grouped together, so you won't see absolutely every channel there, but you'll be able to see the aggregate results, the total number of members in each of these teams. So obviously with Team Liquid having almost more than double the channels, they're going to have a higher hours watched. But what you can see is 100 Thieves actually has a higher concurrent viewership with less channels activating. So again, comparison is a great tool for long-tailed searches and grouping together groups of games, teams, influencers, and other channels to monitor. Any questions, please reach out to support@streamhatchet.com.